guys, welcome back to Travel Crafter channel. It's been a while since my last crochet or knitting tutorial. So this time it's the holidays. Soon it will be Christmas, and I know all of you are preparing here and there for Christmas presents. It may be handmade, it may be crochet or knitting. And I am here today to teach you on how to make the shower loofah, or I did this several years back, and I did a crochet tutorial on how to do this. But on this tutorial I will be knitting the shower loofah. Okay, so I am using this yarn from Hobby. It's 100% cotton. It's 50 grams in one skein, and this is approximately 170 meters or 186. It's number one, super fine. And the recommendation needles for this is 2.5 to 3.5 millimeters, but I am using quite a bigger or a larger knitting needle for this. So I have here a 5.5 millimeter needle. All right, so about the yarn again, it doesn't have the name of the color, but it has color point 88. I really like it, and I'm combining it with the orange one. So to begin with, we will cast on 16 stitches. So again, I do it this way. It goes, the length is from my fingertips right here to the length to my armpits. So let's get started. Okay, so 16, this is counted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I will be back when I'm done with my 16. Okay, so right here on my needle I have the 16 stitches. So this is where I began. This is the cast on yarn. So I am using the circular needle. It's the bamboo, and it has the plastic cord. I'm more comfortable with using this circular needle than the straight needles. So turn your work right now. I usually put the two strings together and knit first one. So this is now our first row. Okay, so knit the first one and then drop the cast on yarn, and then we will knit all for the first row. So you will end up with 16 stitches at the end of the first row. I will be back. Okay, so I'm done with my first row. So turn your work again. On the second row, we will be knitting 16 stitches once again. So I will continue to knit each and every stitch from the previous first round. So I will be back. Okay, so I'm done with the second row. The reason why I don't put in camera the way I do things at this point is because it's so repetitive. So from the first row to the third row, we will just be knitting the 16 stitches over and over again. So turn your work from your second row, and this time we will complete the third row, which is again knit each and every stitch. I will be right back. Okay, so I'm done with the 3 rows, so I'm ready to turn my work, And on the fourth row, this is a row of increase. So this is a tutorial especially for beginner knitters. So at the end of this project, I'm pretty sure you will be a professional in doing your knitting stitches. So the fourth row, it is where we increase. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, the first stitch, we will just knit one. Okay, second stitch is where we begin the fun. Okay, so it's a row of increase. So knit one in the back, in the front, and go back to the same stitch and knit one from the back, and then grab your yarn. Okay, so now you can just drop that stitch. Again, if you are not sure of how to do the increase, so knit the regular way in the front, pull it forward or towards you, and then go back to the same stitch, this time knit from the back. Okay, so grab your yarn from behind and slide the stitch. Okay, so again, knit forward or the front, and then knit from the back on that same stitch, grab the yarn from behind, and now you are ready to drop off that stitch. So you are increasing every stitch on this row except for the first stitch and the last stitch on the needle. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you how to increase. So knit from the front or the regular way, but do not slide off the stitch. Go back to the same stitch, and this time knit from the back, grab your yarn from the back and slide off the stitch. Okay, so knit from the front, knit from the back, and slide off. Okay, so that is how you will work on this row. And remember, when you reach the last stitch, you just have to do a knit one. Okay, so I'm done with the fourth row, and the total number of stitches after you do the fourth row will be 30 stitches. So this is how many stitches I have on my needle for right now. So we turn our work. The fifth row, we will knit each and every stitch. Okay, so you will still end up with 30 stitches. Sixth row, you will also be knitting each and every stitch. Seventh row, you will also be knitting each and every stitch. So from the fifth row to the seventh row, you will just be knitting each and every stitch that you see on the needle. So that's how we will be doing it. So let me just start doing the third row. Okay, so I don't want to bore you because we will be dealing with a lot of stitches right here. And as we increase our row, we will be working on a lot of stitches and on a lot of knitting stitches. So I will be right back after I complete rows 5, 6, and 7, and you do the same. Okay, so I hope you're still with me. I'm done with rows number 5, 6, and 7. So remember, we still have the 30 stitches. So this is how it looks now on my needle after I completed rows 1 to number 7. So 30 stitches in all. So we turn our work, And now we're ready to work on row number 8. So row number 8 is a row of increase. So if you had noticed, every even row is where I increase my stitches, and then after the increase I do 3 rows regular. Okay, so here we start with knit one. Okay, just adjust your stitch there, the beginning of your row. Okay, so this is where the fun begins. Okay, so knit in the front, and on that same stitch knit at the back and slide off. Okay, so knit in the front, knit in the back and slide off, knit from the front, you extend your yarn towards you and then go back to that same stitch, and you complete the knit. Again, knit in the front, knit on that same stitch from behind this time. Okay, so knit each and every stitch as an increase, okay, until you reach the last stitch where you do a 1 knit only. Okay, so again, each and every stitch from here on you increase. Okay, 1 stitch we work twice, so that is how we come up with the increase. So I will be right back. Okay, my friends, I am back. I am done with the 8th row, which is the row of increase. So my total number of stitches right now is 58. So if you are following along with me, you should also have 58 stitches. So turn your work. This project, you will deal with a lot of stitches, and the more rows that you do, the more stitches will be on your needle. So let us start now with row number 9. So from row number 9 to row 11, I will be doing knit stitches to each and every stitch that I have on my needle. So I will still end up with 58 stitches. So I will be right back. Okay, so I completed rows number 9, 10, and 11, and this is how it looks like on my needle right now. We're dealing with a lot of stitches, and as I said in the beginning, you will end up to be a professional knitter with the knit stitches. So a total of 58 stitches. Okay, so I'm ready to do row number 12. And this is again a row of increase. So in the beginning we only knit 1, just, and then on the second stitch we start the increase. So knit, incomplete, go back to the same stitch, knit from the back, slide off, knit, incomplete, knit from the back and slide off. So we will be doing this until you reach the last stitch, which we will only do 1 knit. Okay, so this is row number 12, and it's a row of increase. So you might be dealing with this kind of issue with your needles. Just adjust the stitches on your needle and then just move them forward to the tip, but be careful not to slide them completely off the needle. So I will be back after I complete row number 12, a row of increase. Okay, so I am done with row 12, which was an increase row. So I have a total of 114 stitches right now on my needle. And just to show you how I keep track of my of the row that I am on, and about like where I should increase or decrease, or just to stay steady, I have this notepad, and I put the numbers in, and as I go along, as I finish one row, I put a check mark on it, and then the number of stitches I put beside the row numbers, so as you can see here. So I am now going on to row number 13, 14, and 15. So I will be doing rows of 13, 14, and 15, which are all knit one on all the stitches that you see on each row, and the stitches that I will end up with on those 3 rows will still be 114. So I will be back. Okay, so I came back to the camera. I just wanted to show you I'm still working on row number 14 right now. So with the amount of stitches that we have on the needle, so there comes a time that everything gets kind of far from the tip of the needle while you are working doing the knit stitches. So all you really have to do is like to push the stitches carefully to the front of the left needle, if that is what you are using. So just keep pushing the stitches from the end to the front or the tip of your working needle. Okay, so we are done with row number 15. So this is how it looks like now on my knitting needle. So let's turn our work, and I am ready to do row number 16, which will be my last increase. So as of the moment, I have 114 stitches on my needle. So row number 16 is an increase. So I will do knit one, and then knit front and knit back on the same stitch until you reach the last stitch where you will only knit one. Okay, so let's start this. So let's work on row number 16. So knit one, and then knit in the front, bring your yarn towards you, and then knit at the back and slip off your stitch. So this is my last increase, and we end up with 226 stitches after we complete row number 16. So after this row, we will still do 3 more rows of 226, and then on the 20th row, that will be my last, where we will be casting off. So I will work off camera again for row number 16. I hope you are liking the project. And it's just hard to work with all these stitches right on your needle. So I'll see you on. Alright guys, I just came back on camera just in case that my previous recording did not go through as I wanted it to be. So again, I'm working on row number 16, my last row of increase. From here on, I will come up with a total of 226 stitches. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the tutorial. I know it's kind of really boring. When I was doing it myself, I was like distracting every now and then, just so that I will be able to stay focused on knitting stitches. But it's worth it, you guys. You can give this as a gift, as a present to your closest friends, sisters, maybe your nieces. They would surely love this. You will appreciate it more once we will assemble the things together. Right now, I know you are like, what is going on? It's just like so many stitches, back and forth, back and forth. So I will be off camera again, and I will come back at the completion of row number 19. Okay, so as of now, I'm working on row number 16, a row of increase. I'm still back. I'm still trying to cast off all these stitches, not even halfway. All right, so row 20 is where we cast off, right? So let me show you. Knit the first two. Okay, so you have 2 stitches on your right needle. So the first stitch will go over the second one. It goes over the second one, and then you slip off, and you have 1 stitch left on your right needle. So again, you knit the third stitch, and again the first stitch on your needle will go over the second stitch, and you do that all throughout, and that's how we cast off the stitches. So it takes a while, and especially because we have 226 stitches, so it will take me a few minutes to complete my cast off row, so that I will be back before I finish this row. I'll see you soon. I'm still back. I'm still trying to cast off all these stitches, not even halfway. Okay, I'm back. We are ready to finish up with the casting off. So I have a few stitches left on my needle. So I continue on casting off. Okay, so I have one more stitch to go, and the last one, and we are ready to cut this off. So get your pair of scissors, leave at least 12 inches, I would say, and cut off the yarn, and we are done with the fourth scrubby. Okay, all done. Okay, so you would need a pair of scissors and your darning needle. So this is where I ended, so I'm not gonna start with that. I will start where I started off initially. So grab the yarn from the start, the little yarn that you use. Okay, so what we're gonna do is okay, so just sew off. Okay, so remember it's a circular thing. Do your like whip stitch, I would say. So from here, don't miss any stitch. Just go back and forth. Second. If you have a better way to do this, you can of course do your style. Just don't miss any stitch. So our idea here is to bring them together, all the 16 stitches when we first started. Okay, so it's closed now. So I will sew it secure. Okay, so back and forth you go. I think this is the right time now to do this, to secure our yarn. We can also put like a nail polish, the colorless one. Okay, so just remember to keep it secured, so you can go back and forth to end your sewing here, the whipping stitch. Okay, so we now will do the whipping stitches through the last row that we did. So grab your yarn, put in your needle, and again we will go from the bottom, going all the way up from where we started. Okay, so just make sure not to miss any stitches right here. Okay. because this is the first one that is here where we ended. I will pass the needle again just to really secure it. You can pass it several times. I know most of us women, we're all like really OC regarding this, but it's better safe than sorry. Okay, so we will just do the whipping stitch from down here all the way up from where we started. So I'll do that off camera and you can do the same. Okay, so I am coming to an end here. So just keep doing your whipping stitches until you reach the stitch on your first row when we first started. Okay, there you go. Just make sure that it's closed now, and just go several times again in and out of the first stitch when we first started. So you might have another way of doing this, a better way of doing this. I'm spending more time trying to sew this together. I'm just going down again just so that I can secure my stitches so it will not become unravel. So I'll just go down again to where I first started, from down here. Okay, this is where we picked up the yarn that on the 20th row. So just again go back and forth just so that it will be more secure. And then at the end of this, you can also put a nail polish, as I said, just the colorless one. Okay, I think that would do. Then you can now cut off the yarn and you are good. Ta-da! So everything is fine. So this is how it's supposed to be. So I'll do the rest of my scrubbies and I will be back to attach or to assemble them all. Okay, so I am back. I'm finally done sewing in or hemming in the ends. So we have 4 pieces of scrubbies. So this is how it looks like. Let's take a measurement. So measure is from side to side, since it is a circle or in round. So this is about, if you stretch it, it's about 9 inches. So I'm pretty sure it's also about 9 inches. Okay, so if you stretch it, but if you don't stretch it, it's like about 8. Okay, so this is how I want my scrubbies to look like, the colors. So I would start with the orange and then brown and alternate it with the rest of the pieces. So what we do now is to find the center and we put a holder. So when it's functional, when it's in use, after you take a shower, of course, you have to dry it, to hang dry it. So let's find the center, turn it upside down. Okay, I still have this just so it will guide me to find the center. So this is now upside down. Okay. So make sure you tie the end of this cord in a thick manner so it will not just get through to your thing here. So let me do that once again. Okay, so this is the final step. We will put a holder so that after you take a shower, you use your loofah or you use the scrubby, you can hang it dry in your shower. So find the middle. Okay, and this is how I want my colors to be. Okay, so this will be the front, and I have to turn it upside down and then find the middle. Find the middle. I don't think so. Somewhere here is the middle. Okay, more likely. Okay, so okay, so there you have it. This is just, you can just take off this needle from here. It's a big hole needle, so you can just, and this is how it's gonna be. Or you can change, you can definitely put something else as a holder, whatever suits you. But I think this one can hold. So this is all that there is. I hope you guys liked the video tutorial. Please leave messages, comments. I'm so glad that I was able to put this together. Have a Merry Christmas, and I hope this will help you with your Christmas projects, items that you can give to your family, your friends, and most to anyone. So this is a very good idea. You use less yarns than usual, and it's very functional. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you on. Bye.